I watched a video the other day that made me cringe. This video came from a creator named Kimmy. He seemed like a cool dude, and I agree with most of his points except for one. And that was his point on deathmatching in Valorant. Take a listen.
Skip deathmatch. It's just to shut off your brain, not to actually improve aim. All these people tell you to play deathmatch because it will make you a good player and more aware. Watch any pro play DM and see if they legit try it all during DM. They just zone out, shoot heads, and that's all. It's to warm up, not to actually get good at aiming or at the competitive mode.
Now, I firmly disagree with this take, and if you don't agree with me, I'm hoping that this content will help shed some light on a different perspective for you, or even help you rank up. I'm of the opinion that Deathmatch is the single greatest mode for improvement in Valorant when used correctly. And I emphasize these words specifically because there's a right and wrong way to use this tool. No different than trying to force a square peg into a round hole. Using a tool incorrectly just isn't going to work. So how do you know when you're DMing correctly? Well, with one word. Purpose. I encourage you to record your next deathmatch and watch it back. Ask yourself, what am I actually trying to practice when doing deathmatch? Am I doing as Kimmy said, mimicking Ten just mindlessly flicking and 180-degree snapping on his streams? Or am I purposely and intentionally practicing a skill? Now, some of you have probably lost that last point, and you probably have questions like, okay, Worthy, but what skills other than crosshair placement and micro adjusting can I actually work on? Can I even practice with DM? Well, have you ever considered making your DM into a ranked match?
Huh?
This drill is what I like to call scenario-based DM. You load into a DM, and when you spawn, freeze and look towards your minimap. Red dots will spawn on the screen, and that will show you where your enemies are located. From here, you can visualize the situation you would find yourself in ranked. For example, if you spawn into showers, and there's 3 dots towards the attacker's shower's entrance, you may play the scenario as if you were defending shower's entrance against 3 targets. This allows you to mindfully crosshair place, peek, and attack the scenario as if you were playing ranked. Here's an example of me taking a student through this. Let's look at your DM really quick. So what you're gonna do is when you get to this point, you're gonna stop moving. You're gonna have your spawn shield, you're gonna look to the top of your screen, you're gonna see all these red dots, you're like, oh, that's where the enemies are. And now you're gonna be like, okay, I'm playing retake B. So now you're gonna go here and try to retake B. Properly crosshair place everything, and take fights. If you get shot in the back from spawn, big deal. It's no big deal. You move on to the next scenario. And you just focus on the scenarios. You don't think about trying to win this DM. You will probably end up winning because you end up clearing things properly, right? Because you're mindfully doing things. So you're basically doing it without utility. And now when you go in the game, you just have a utility to add it to make it a little bit easier for you, right? That's it, right? So you're learning grassroots here by actually playing the DM. Let's say the scenario is, I'm going to attack B, okay? Yep. The other scenario that you can do is, I'm going to defend B from hookah. So maybe I'll be aggressive on hookah. There's your example. Okay, so we have probably played defense B because we have someone so close to hookah right now. Okay.
Yep.
So that's a great fight, right? Because you're now in a position where you're kind of stuck and you have to clear that person. So that was great. You took an off angle, fantastic. Okay, so now I would cross our place and clear everything individually. Kind of like this. It's good. Now you're clearing this, perfect. Now you're moving in. So you're attacking the site. So maybe you want to push into the right and clear out pipes, right? So see how you're in the middle right now? You're just flicking around. This is all really good. Like you have great raw aim. Imagine if you started applying it to real scenarios.
Right.
Right? That's what you're looking to do in Deathmatch. Does that make sense? Now let's talk about the feedback drill. Feedback and reflection is super important, and honesty is the best policy. Whether you're reviewing your footage in a VOD review, or in the moment giving yourself a verbal note on what I needed to do to win this last fight, giving yourself a quick tip, then continuing on will help identify fixes faster in the future and start gearing your mind to see the solutions and win conditions of each gunfight you take. So now we got to think about how we end up crosshair placing all of this. Like, was this a good, clean fight? Was it a fight that we wanted to take? Did it make sense? Right? Maybe we didn't need to take that fight altogether. If we do know that they know that we're here, which they did, maybe we start this fight with a crouch peek to throw off their crosshair placement to win that one.
Yep.
So now what you're doing is you're saying, okay, so what do I need to do to win this fight? And now you diagnose it. I would say that the best bet you have if you're going to take that fight is drop into a crouch as soon as you peek that person. So you throw off the crosshair placement.
So good.
The crouch peek?
Yeah. Crouch peek is so good. My brother does it to me all the time, and it's It pisses me off every time.
Have you ever tried practicing your comms in a deathmatch? I know, sounds wild, right? But it's actually possible and super helpful. I assign the comms drill to every student who struggles with communicating in ranks, and also for those who struggle with multitasking. The idea is to communicate each of your actions, strategies, and pathings as if you were talking to your teammates in the moments and scenarios you've made up in the previous drills. Calming for people to swing with you, action calming what you're doing with 3-2-1s, or location callouts are all fantastic things to practice saying while taking gunfights. Despite what other content creators will tell you, being able to do this is essential for getting the best out of you and your teammates in ranked matches. It's important to set your push to talk key in an easy to access spot so you can get into the flow of pressing this and taking gunfights fluidly. Gone should be the days of pressing a key that forces your hands in awkward positions or limit your movement capabilities. I'm looking at you players who press the V key with their Peter pointer. Here's me doing this drill for a student. One in showers, one in heaven. Nice. Showers down, still heaven. Swinging 3, 2, 1. Nice, good shit. One showers, one heaven. I'm putting heaven, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Backside down, one more showers. Showers, he's about to peek. 3, 2, 1, swinging. Heaven. Fuck! Here we go.
4 down.
Showers maybe? Short. Ah, it's in pocket. I'm fighting triple. Ready? 3, 2, 1, swinging. Heaven. Down. Nice job. I'm pushing out. Putting lamps. He's still on lamps. I'm going backside. One pipe's down. Still lamps? After watching these drills alone, I'm sure you can see Deathmatch can have a lot of benefits for your ranked matches when used correctly, despite what Kimmy would have you believe. Now to add to my point, I want to hit you with some simple stats. Take a match of Valorant ranked for example. How many gunfights would you say average you have in a given game? 30? Maybe 40? Let's go with the high end number. So in one match, you end up with 40 gunfight experiences. Now contrast this to Deathmatch, which you can get anywhere from 40 to 60 gunfights. It's also important to note that a DM will last as long as 10 minutes, where a Valorant match averages between 30 to 40 minutes. For those not strong in math, one Valorant match equals 40 gunfights average in 40 minutes, whereas 40 minutes equates to 4 DMs, all totaling an average of 40 to 60 gunfights, for a grand total of 240 gunfights at the least. Now I see Kimmy's point. If you're mindlessly playing Deathmatch, those 240 gunfights would be a complete waste of time. However, if you're mindfully practicing your DMs as we discussed in this video, I find it extremely difficult for any player of any rank to find zero value in playing Deathmatch. We want to hear what you think in the comment section below. And if you'd like to continue the discussion, join the Discord. Or consider supporting us through Patreon for even more exclusive coaching content. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.